Hi there, I'm Kevin Jans. In this video, I'm going to go through what a Contracting Officer Podcast 2.0 license is and how it works. So I'm going to jump over to a screen share for you so I can show you inside the community so you can see how this Podcast 2.0 license works. So here we are inside the Skyway community. So you go to our homepage and you click on Podcast 2.0, it's going to bring you here. Right? And you have access to the podcast 401 and up. So all the way starting with episode 401 and continuing as we make these new podcasts every week. You also have access to the podcast playlists. Podcast playlists, there are, I think, 36 of them on lots of different topics. And you can see in here, we have a variety of different topics to help you curate the content. These episode playlists were made from the request of our license holders, of our clients, wanting to know, show me the 5 about past performance planning, show me the 4 about debriefing, or they should show me a few, right? That's the idea, is that you want a playlist of a specific topic, we help you with those. That's where these came from. You also have access to the Podcast 2.0 forum. In the Podcast 2.0 forum, and here's an example inside it. Let me jump back 2 pages for you. So we have 2 forums. We have the Ask a Contracting Officer forum and the Podcast 2.0 forum. The Podcast 2.0 forum, you see it's pretty new. This way it only has a couple of posts in it. But the idea here is that this is engagement on, you listen to a podcast episode, you have a follow-on question. Like, for example, on episode 403, here's an example of a follow-on question of, yes, I understand this concept of what contract value means, but what about on a GSA contract? And here's an answer. And then if you want additional information, then just ask me and we'll make a whole other podcast about it. But that's what the Podcast 2.0 license is. Gives you access to these 3, to these 3 things: the additional podcast episodes, the podcast playlists, and to the Podcast 2.0 forum. To join the Skyway community and get access to the Podcast 2.0 license, go to our homepage, go to skywayacq.com/join. It'll bring you to this page. And right here is Podcast 2.0. And they're the things you're going to get. Go down here and click on select, and you get instant access to all of the episodes, including the playlists and the Podcast 2.0 forum. I look forward to seeing you inside the Skyway community. And thanks for being a Contracting Officer Podcast listener.